All right, this is the CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. I'm your host, Nick Qualley, sitting here with my co-host, Mike Molyneux, and with Marv Azan. Let's talk about a name that doesn't really get the juices flowing too much, but people like to talk about him here and there because he had a pretty big preseason last year. He jumped onto the scene. Him and Jarrett Stidham in the preseason. They looked tight. They looked good. It looked like a good connection going down the line. We went into the season. We were like, this guy is going to put up numbers. And then he didn't do it. Jakobi Meyers, undrafted free agent heading into last year. Patriots obviously pick him up. 26 receptions, 359 yards, and 0 touchdowns. So, guys, let's talk about Jakobi Meyers here. What should we expect from this guy heading into this year? Because obviously the receiving core, it's not great. It's shallow. You got Sanu, you got Edelman, you got Harry. And I thought you were going to have Marquise Lee, but that's out the window. He's gone. And Jakobi Meyers. So realistically, we don't know what Harry's going to be. We don't know what Jakobi Meyers is going to be. One of those two guys is going to have to step up. What do you think about Jakobi Meyers this season? Do you think that he could take a big jump? Do you think he's going to be a productive part of this offense? Or, honestly, if he doesn't have a great year, he might be gone after this year. So, Mike, let's start with you. What do you think here? What should we expect from Jakobi Meyers this season?
I mean, first and foremost, those two guys that you mentioned, Jakobi Meyers and N'Keal Harry, going into the second year, they're going to have to make some kind of leap here, obviously. But keying in on Jakobi Meyers, unfortunately for him, it's looking like he's probably going to be possibly, maybe I'm being generous here, but possibly fourth on the depth chart when you're looking at a wide receiver behind Edelman, Sanu, N'Keal Harry, and then possibly Jakobi Meyers is that fourth option.
I don't think it's generous because they don't have anything else.
They don't have anybody else. You don't know if anybody else is going to emerge, but you're assuming that if you're
they've got some guys, but
yeah, they have some guys that they brought in, but you're assuming looking at the roster, and of course who's been here, he's going to be that fourth option. Now the thing that is possibly going to help a guy like Jakobi Meyers and N'Keal Harry is they're no longer playing with a quarterback who only wants to look towards his favorite guys and the veteran guys. If you look at last year, and I was looking at some stats, Jakobi Meyers, he played in 15 games, I believe. In those 15 games, he had 41 targets. Sanu came to the Patriots, only played 8 games and had 47 targets. That goes to show you who Tom Brady was looking at as guys are lined up on the field. He wants the veteran guys on his team, obviously, and he wants the guys he's comfortable with. I feel as if this year, whether it's Stidham or most likely going to be Cam Newton, they're going to want to use any and everybody to try to find success. Obviously, you knew Brady and Edelman, or Brady and James White, and even years before Brady and Gronk, they had that connection. There was no question about those guys producing when they're on the field together. You got these new quarterbacks stepping in. Man, if you can get open and you can run some right routes and get open for them, they'll find you. I don't care who it is. So I think that's really going to help Jakobi Meyers this year, knowing that, it's not a situation where, I got to do my best to maybe impress the veteran to hopefully get a ball. You just got to show up, man, in these practices and whatnot and show that you can be reliable. And I feel as if, it's wide open for him to be a key part of this team and show why we were all hyped up about him from last year's preseason. Maybe he can find and find that energy that he had from last preseason and carry it over to this season.
And they need either Harry or they need Meyers to step up.
Yes, absolutely.
It's not going to be a successful season if both of those guys essentially do what they did last year. We saw spurts from both of them here and there, but Meyers fell victim to the Tom Brady. Oh, you didn't have a great game. Oh, you ran a wrong route. I think there was one ball. I think it was Meyers. Brady bombed it downfield, and Meyers just stopped short and was looking for the ball behind him.
And it was over for Meyers after that, probably. He probably just light of day again.
Trust, gone. And I'm sorry if that wasn't him, but I know that happened at one point, and I think it was Meyers. Trust, gone. Boom. So Meyers kind of getting a second chance here with a new quarterback. Marv, what do you think?
Jakobi Meyers is a guy I really like. But unfortunately, with his position, because we're talking about wide receivers, there's the outside, the X, and then there's the Z, the slot receiver. And Jakobi Meyers plays the Z. And he's down in the food chain when it comes to that, because you have obviously Julian Edelman. He has that locked up. you got Mohamed Sanu, who also is an interior receiver. People want to think that he's an X. He's not. He's an interior receiver.
He's a slot guy.
Yeah, he's a slot guy. And, the Patriots are going to make him interchangeable inside, outside, but he's a Z as well. So that's already Edelman, Sanu. You have N'Keal Harry, who we all know is going to make the roster. He's your X. He's going to be your outside guy. And he's not even a prototypical X either, but we're going to use him as the outside guy. Now, who's going to be that third Z option? Sure, we can try to say it's Jakobi Meyers from what we saw in the preseason last year, but he has also competition. You still have Gunner on this team who not only provides that slot role, but he also brings it in the special teams area where he can, provide punt return or he can provide kick return for you. You have this undrafted free agent who I'm a big fan of, Jeff Thomas. This is a guy, the reason he didn't get drafted is due to, discipline issues in college. But if he can get his head straight, 5'9" receiver from Miami, had 80-plus receptions, over 1,300 yards, 8 touchdowns. He is a dynamic receiver. He also plays the Z and can also be a phenomenal kick returner. So Jakobi Meyers is not someone we've seen do the special teams area as well, but he's going to need to try to find other ways to affect this team to be able to make it, because the Z option right now is loaded. You have already Edelman, you have Sanu. Who's going to be that other guy? You have Demir Bird. He's going to be under N'Keal Harry, I believe, in that depth chart. So Jakobi has a battle in his hands. I think he's a talented receiver. He showed it to us. He showed us what his relationship with Stidham was perfect. Now, can he build that with Cam Newton as well during this offseason? We'll see.
He might be getting saved here too, because let's call it for what it is. There's always a chance that he could get cut this year. But
he's an undrafted free agent. They don't owe him anything.
Who didn't have a great year last year. Like, he could get cut, but he might be getting saved because the other guys who could take his spot, he's already been in the system. He knows the system. He played last year. The other guys who could beat him out, they don't have the opportunity this year to show it in preseason football. They don't. So the Patriots could always be like, hey, this guy knows the system. This guy played here last season. This guy understands our offense. Get him out there. And you're right, Marv. We have seen what Jakobi Meyers can do. Again, we saw it last preseason. He was pretty good last preseason. He made us excited. And we were hoping he could carry that into the offense for last season. But he couldn't do it. He struggled. Tom Brady didn't trust him. He was essentially out of the offense. Nowhere to be seen after that. But he's got the talent. Year 2 is going to be big for him. If he doesn't produce this year, he will not be back with the team the following season. He won't.
So sorry.
He won't. He's got to produce this season. He's got to play out of his ass. Unless Jarrett Stidham says, please, Bill, please bring it back. And then Bill's going to be like, you idiot. You've never even started for this team. Shut up. Jakobi Meyers has the talent to do it. Let's see if he can do it. I think he can. Do it, but let's see. He's lucky he's got Cam Newton.
Haven't given up faith on Jakobi yet, but this is a big year for him.
It's a massive year for him. All right, anything else on Jakobi before we wrap up?
Wish him the best of luck, man. It's going to be a battle out there, but hopefully he'll find his way.
CLNS Media, Patriots Roundtable, Nick Pauly and Marv Azan, Mike Molyneux. Guys, follow us on Twitter and check us out on all of our other YouTube videos that we've dropped as well underneath the CLNS Media Patriots Press Pass on YouTube. And also rate and subscribe on iTunes too. Our show is actually underneath the Patriots postgame show. Again, Nick Pauly, Marv Azan, Mike Molyneux. We're going to be back next week, guys, for another set of the CLNS Media Patriots Roundtable. We'll talk to you then. Thanks for watching.